Hello, this is Angela Anderson. Thank you for joining me tonight. We are going to be painting a really fun loose floral with acrylic paints. I'll be showing you step by step how to do it all the way through. So let's get started. Okay, here's my example. I've got my husband Mark here with me.
Hey there, everybody.
We are doing this live tonight. It's 4th of July, so we're going to try to get it pretty quick. I know everybody's got fireworks to get to, or maybe not if you don't live in the U.S. Might be weird. To each his own, right? I found this reference image, and I loosely based my painting off of it. I wanted larger flowers in the centers, but I really like the colors in it. Kind of these blue and white. Kind of an analogous color scheme with the purple to blue to green. So I chose a bunch of different blues and greens, but if you don't have these exact colors, don't feel like you have to go out and run and buy all of them. I just am putting down what I have. A lot of them are pre-mixed colors, but it'll just save us time having to mix each color tonight. So I've got titanium white, of course, yellow oxide, Indian yellow hue, but a cad orange would work instead. Cadmium yellow medium, cadmium yellow light. This is brilliant yellow green. It's a Liquitex color. And light green permanent, phthalo green yellow shade teal, which is just phthalo green and phthalo blue with some white. This is phthalo blue green shade. Cobalt blue, ultramarine blue, light ultramarine blue, just has some white in it. And Dioxazine Purple. So, like I said, don't feel like you have to get these. They're just kind of different kind of blue. So this is a more of a green blue, and this one's sort of in between. And this is also a more purpley blue. So kind of a little bit of each. This one's more of a green yellow, lighter green yellow like a lemon, and this one's closer to orange. So that's why I chose them. How are we doing tonight on chat, honey?
Everybody's coming in and saying howdy.
Great. We're so glad to have you guys joining us tonight live. I'm going to do a little bit smaller canvas panel tonight just because I didn't want to cover such a large area, and I figured it'd help us kind of move along a little bit quickly. So this is an 8x10, but you could really do this on any size that you'd like and just kind of level up. All right, so I'm going to start out by doing a semicircle off the bottom here for our vase. And it's about a little bit over halfway, filling up this kind of area right here. And then I'm going to do a large circle for the white flower that's going to be right here. And then another one kind of pointing that way, and another one at the top. So I want these three to kind of really fill up this whole thing almost all the way to the top. And this one, a couple finger widths to the side there. And then we're going to have some blue cone flowers kind of coming out in different spots. So kind of base those in gently. And then some leaves and things. But this is pretty much, we'll put a couple more of the white flowers out here. And that's about all we're going to do as far as sketching goes. I don't know if you can even see that on there. Mm-hmm. You can? Okay. All right, I'm going to use a number 8 bright. This is kind of maybe about a 3/4 inch flat brush to do the background. And we're going to mix a neutral grayish color using the purple and some yellow. And those are opposite on the color wheel, so they'll create a neutral brownish color. And depending on how much yellow I use, it'll be more yellow, more brown. I'm gonna add a little bit more purple there so that it's kind of a warmer tone. And then I'm going to use a little bit of green, phthalo green here. Grab a little bit of white. Bit more of that purple. I don't want it quite so brown. I want a little bit more purple. There we go. That'll do it right there. Okay, so I'm going to start out here in the corner. And just start laying in this color really quickly. And I'm going to go right up and in between these flowers, shapes over some of them, not really worried too much about it. And then I'm going to add a little bit more white up here at the top. So as I get toward the top, I'm going to pick up a little bit more white. And if you notice, I'm just kind of changing the brushstroke direction so that if any brushstrokes are visible, they kind of, I don't know, look interesting. Kind of doing sort of a cross-hatching motion with it. I'm going to grab a little bit more purple as I get around here. In fact, I think I'm going to grab a little bit of the Phthalo Blue. That's interesting. Do some of that color over here. This will be our highlight side, and this will be our shadow side. Try a little bit of ultramarine blue. Here we go. Grab some white. And just filling it in quickly. This is a really fun, intuitive type painting, so just be expressive. You know, if you decide to go with different colors, that's great. Whatever you're feeling at the time. Just know that you're mixing opposite colors on the color wheel. They're going to neutralize each other, so you'll get a, you know, browns and things like that. That's why we went with this for our background colors, because our flowers are going to be so bright. So having kind of a neutral grayish, brownish background will be a good contrast, good backdrop for other colors. Okay, so let's grab some ultramarine blue and some of that Dioxazine Purple straight. And I'm going to go in here and do some really dark areas around in my greenery here, kind of behind where some of my flowers are going to go. Let's go ahead and kind of base in some of these ones that are going to be my cone shapes. Put a little bit of that color in here. While this is wet, it'll kind of blend and create some interesting in-between colors. Just make sure that this is still drying. If it's
that looks like something I painted one time.
Tacky.
And it was finished.
It is gonna look worse before it gets better. So just know that that's part of the process here.
That's somebody waving with some ears, a snowman. Yeah, that's what I was going for.
And if you notice when I'm laying down my brush here, I'm just kind of turning it and in different directions so that I don't have repeat patterns, dabbing it on and turning it from one side to another, just kind of twisting it in my grip so that I have, as I'm dabbing on these brush strokes, that I don't have like repeat patterns in the brush strokes. This is going to be very random. You want to keep it very loose, so that'll help. So clean that out. I'm going to grab a little bit more white, and I'm just going to pick up what's left on the palette here with this background color. I'm going to base in my vase and pick up maybe a little bit of this lime green here and use it to sort of gently lay in my vase. And leave it splotchy, leave other colors showing. I'm going to go fast tonight. I'm going to kind of book it, so you may just try to explain as much as I can and going along, but you may
paint it like you stole it.
Exactly. I'm going fast. If you're new to my channel, welcome. That's my husband, Mark. He's our comic relief here. He helps me and sort of, and also makes me laugh, which is nice. Keeps things light. We like to have fun, and I've already got paint all over my arm. I didn't even use that color yet. That's awesome. So we take our art seriously, but we don't take ourselves too seriously. So I try to teach you some really good basic things. If you've ever, wanted to paint and just said, I don't have talent for it, well, I'm here to tell you you can paint, and I will help show you how. Painting is a skill just like any other new thing that you want to learn. It may come easier to some people, but it doesn't mean that you can't do it if you put your mind to it and practice. So, all right, I think I'm going to switch off brushes now and get a little bit smaller one. This one is a Filbert, number 4 Filbert, so about a 1/2 inch. It doesn't have to be Filbert, it could be flat. Filbert just means it's rounded. You could use something like this instead. This is a little bright, flat. It's flat if it was out to here. Bright just means it's a little shorter. So I'm probably going to use both of those in varying amounts. And I'm going to grab some teal now and a little bit of that green. This light green. Now, if you don't have these colors, basically you can use this phthalo green and these yellows to create these versions. This one's just like phthalo green with a little bit of yellow and white, and this one's just more white added to it and maybe a little bit more yellow added to it. So we're just cheating by not having to mix it ourselves. We're saving ourselves some time. So I'm gonna lay in some loose leaves and things, and it'll be, I'm doing this deliberately while this stuff is still drying because it'll kind of blend with it and create some colors for us. I'm just going to dab this color in and around, maybe do a large leaf down here. There's some of this color underneath some of these yellow or these white flowers, so I'll put some down around those. Let's grab some of the brighter green here. This is the green permanent, and we'll put in some leaves. I'm just looking at my photograph to start with and looking for these dark areas, and we always want to put in our dark areas first and then work in some lighter colors on top. And you can see how this is just kind of a jumble of different colors and shapes and things. So you can't really recognize any one thing, especially like in there. If you were to focus right on that little area, you've got little blobs and blips and different lines and things coming all different directions. So that's what we're kind of trying to replicate. Just using the tip of my brush, I'm going to kind of draw in some shapes and dab in just some different things happening back here. Right now we're not really worried too much about our finished shapes. We're just kind of trying to lay in some interesting background stuff in some of our darker colors. I'm going to grab some Phthalo Blue and add that to that green there. And do a large flower leaf right there, maybe another one over here. Do I need to tilt that? Is it? Yeah, I do. Sorry, noises.
Nobody was hurt. Don't worry.
You can put that color, that image in the corner there too. Might help. Yep.
Oh yeah, there is. There is an image. I lied to the people in chat.
Oh, you told them there wasn't one.
I thought I could see it, even though I don't have it selected. But what do I know?
Okay. I'm gonna put in some random green shapes for some leaves and things down in our vase. Maybe some stems. I'm gonna grab some of that teal. Pull in some teal things. large teal. Use the edge of my brush, just kind of drag it. Put some of this color underneath our white flowers. Okay, clean that out really well. Let's go ahead and put in these blue flowers. I'm going to grab a little bit smaller brush this time. This will be our number 4 flat, or my number 2 flat. It's about a 1/4 inch flat. You could also use your number 2 bright instead if you wanted to, or even a round, like a number 2 round would work. So any of those brushes, just about a 1/4 inch wide. And we'll grab the Ultramarine Blue. Maybe add a little bit of Phthalo Blue to make it kind of a medium blue color. Tiny bit of purple to darken it up. And I'm going to just dab in some little shapes. Actually, this one's up here. Don't worry if you're going over something. We're going to do multiple layers on this. This has been the key to this one, is multiple layers, so that one layer is covering over another layer, and you're seeing little bits of other things underneath, so you're kind of it's adding interest because you're kind of not exactly sure what any one thing is. We'll definitely define a few of these things on top, but the ones that are kind of back here in the background and beneath everything are going to kind of help create some visual interest in our background. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does? Good. Okay, some down there. Let's do a little bit over here. Hanging out in some of these. There were actually, I want to use the Cobalt Blue for some of these because it's a little bit lighter blue. It's got a little bit more green in it. Create some little, maybe blue shapes. When I said at the beginning of the video that we're using analogous colors, that just means that these colors are next to each other on the color wheel. So green, blue, purple are all right in that little pie shape. So those are our main colors, and then we're using the yellows that are opposite from the purple as our kind of contrasting colors. We'll use those a little bit less. So, but they'll create interest. And all right, so that looks good. And you notice I'm doing these darker colors first. I want to make sure I have it nice and dark. And I feel like I got away from the dark in my example. Even there's some areas that I would have gone back in and added more dark to, but I figured I'd just show you that tonight, so I didn't bother doing it on the example. I'm going to grab a little bit of the, turn that so you can see that part. We will have the palette cam. We have our new fancy thing for our palette cam. We just don't have it quite set up and all yet. We've been gone on vacation.
We got the capture card installed, but we need to set up the timing, the syncing on it.
Right.
Since the video and the audio is coming from 2 different sources.
Right.
And it's not as easy as painting.
No. No. And it always seems like we end up having all kinds of issues when we try to change anything, so I'm kind of dreading it.
There'll be a lot of clapping and banging the table and snapping fingers.
Yeah, I might be headbutting the table again a little bit. Okay, I mixed some of the light green permanent with some white here, and I'm just creating some little leaves, and I added a little bit of it into my glass for some highlights. I have a little bit of it over here too. And this is going to go real fast. I mean, we may not even be a full hour on this one, honestly. Really. And I'm planning on doing this as a series. So Saturday I'll do another one. And I may do 2 on Saturday, but we're actually needing a short one again on Saturday, so I'll probably do another one in the series. There's a nice short little do ones. Excuse me, my voice. Anyhow, so we'll be doing this again on Saturday, another one in a different set of colors, probably warmer colors this next time. So they'll go together, and we'll probably do a third one eventually, so that we have a set that goes together. So, all right. How pretty is that? Whoops. I love these colors. All right, so I'm going to grab the yellow here. This is the Indian yellow hue. Maybe add a little tiny bit of the yellow oxide. And I'm going to dab in a little bit of this color. There was a little bit, maybe add a little bit of white. Add a little bit of it. It was just a little bit in the glass. There's just little tiny bits of it in here that I saw. So I'm just going to add it in a few little places. Not too much, because I don't want it to be overwhelming to our colors, but put a little bit in the centers of our yellow and white flowers too. Okay, that's good. That's all we need, just a little tiny bit. I may add a little bit more. Actually, let me go ahead and pick up some of this cad yellow light and some of that green. Really, I didn't need this cad yellow light, as it turned out, because but I would have used it to mix some of these colors, so that's why I included it in our list. But actually, all right, let me clean that out. And add some of this purple color in our white flower. This is our background color. Just need some contrasting color underneath, so when we do our white dabs on top, it'll cover. I'll grab some light ultramarine blue, just ultramarine blue plus white. Maybe a little bit more white on the other side, and I'm going to dab on some of these. Well, too much. Grab some ultramarine blue and mix it so that I have a medium color. There we go. Just little dots. And dabs. Dots and dabs, technical term.
I'd like to say thanks to everybody who's joined us tonight. We got people from Puerto Rico and Canada and Australia and all over the U.S.
Wow.
Joining tonight is your first time on Angela's channel. You can hit the subscribe button.
Yes, please.
And the bell, correct? So you can get notifications of future shows.
Mm-hmm.
And you can like the video, give it a thumbs up. Appreciate that. And what else should we say?
No, that's good.
Okay.
We do these shows twice a week, so.
Oh, yes.
This is light purple, so ultramarine, light ultramarine, and a little bit of the Dioxazine Purple. And they can join us on social media on our Facebook pages, and if they want to get the traceable for tonight's video or any other of my videos, I have those available on Patreon. So the links are down in the description for those, and it's just $1 a month for all the traceables that I've done that month. and all the ones from previous month. So it's a pretty good deal. If you don't like to draw, it's a really good way of getting started with painting without having to feel like you are a little bit overwhelmed. So, all right, just a little bit of this purple here and there. We add a little bit in the middle. I want to separate these two to get apart. Make a green with the Cad Yellow Light and Phthalo Blue. Add a little bit of the what's this color? Yellow, Indian yellow. I keep trying to remember what the color is. Okay, sorry, took me a minute. I'm going to do one here. Do a nice large leaf right here going off. Okay. Do another one right here. Grab some white. Make a light white green color. Mix with that. Okay, let's make some teal. I'm going to grab some Phthalo Blue and Phthalo Green. Make a dark teal color. It's basically this color if you added white to this. And I'm going to use this to do some little sticks. Kind of put some down in this water too. Take some Phthalo Blue and some white, create this really pretty bright blue. I'm just going to do some little dabs with this in here, create some little centers or something for these flowers. Little, I don't know what they are, but just little bright spots. There we go. Okay, let me work on these white flowers now. I'm gonna grab some white. And I'm going to keep using this brush because it seems to be doing pretty well for me. And I'm just going to lightly dab in kind of a circular motion some brush strokes that are going to overlap one another to create these large white flowers. So they're going to be kind of in a circular motion. It's actually good that it's picking up that blue. That's pretty. Okay, let's do this one. So I'm kind of starting at the center and I'm sort of figuring out where my center is going to be. I'm sort of doing a little random. Why don't you circle in on that? Just zoom in just right here. Okay, that's good. All right, so I've done like a long short, short, and then I'm going to kind of start going around it and filling in leaving a little bit of this color underneath showing through. It'll give it a little bit of depth. As I get around the sides here, I'll do longer brush strokes and maybe a few at the top just to kind of fill it in. Right? That's all we really have to do. We don't need to overwork it. Less is more with these kind of abstract type of flowers. So let's do a large one here. We kind of lost most of this one, so we'll just kind of create where we think the center is going to be and sort of do some brush strokes using the edge of my brush sometimes, then sometimes I'm using it flat. Grab some of that blue, purple color, add a little bit of that. There we go. These are tucked up next to each other here. Just going to grab some white and just sort of separate those two right there. Okay. Let's do these ones on the side. And here again, I'm not worried about what I'm covering. We'll come back and add more stuff later if we need to. Just trying to create some flower type shapes. These circular overlapping shapes. I grab a little bit of that yellow, maybe a little bit of green. Here we go. Grab some of that teal. Add some white to it. Use a little bit of that in here to sort of shadow some of these. It's just teal plus white. Going over these brush strokes. Give it a little bit different color. Grab some purple and some of our yellow oxide. Create a color similar to that background and add a little bit of that color back in. Just a couple little dabs is all you need. And really you could leave that out. At any point where you like it, stop. That's really, you know, the key. You don't have to do exactly like mine. You do whatever flowers kind of are making you happy today. So I'm just showing you some different ways of, you know, doing some, but they certainly don't have to look like mine. So let's do some little dots coming off of here. This is that kind of background color, purple and yellow oxide. Grab some more white. Okay, now it's just a little finishing touches, so we're just going to dab in a little bit brighter here and there. Clean that out. You can zoom out again though. I'm going to grab a, let me see, I think I want this one. I'm going to grab a number 2 round. And add some white, if I can find some clean white. Don't think I have any. White. And a little bit of teal.
We got a lot of people coming in late. They
Okay.
just got some quick questions about the background colors.
Yes, it was purple and cad yellow medium, and then a teeny tiny touch of green, a little bit of white, phthalo green, and a little bit of white. And then this color is similar, but it's yellow oxide instead, with a little bit of white and purple. So, all right, let's do some of these curved leaf shapes with this teal. And I'm just gonna do this long curving line, and then at the end I'm gonna just set my brush down and pull towards the center. Kind of like we did those burns the other day when we did the mushrooms. Similar. Do someone right on one here. Put some of this color down in our glass vase.
What brand of brush are you using?
This is the Princeton brushes. These are in my brush guys list. They're like my favorite of the. They're the best quality ones that are on my list. They're at the top of the list. They're a little bit pricey, but they definitely are worth the money. That, in my opinion, they go a long way. They hold their point really well, and they're just firm enough to be able to handle these heavy body acrylics and do well with blending and that kind of thing. Some of the other acrylic brushes can be a little bit soft for this, and they're not too firm, so that they do. They're flexible, is what I mean. So sometimes if the brush is too firm, it won't bend for you. It won't give you a fine point. So these kind of are the best of both worlds.
And there's a link down in the description to the brush guys.
Yes, there it
And you
is.
can use that link. And then there's Angela
Fine art.
code you can put in for 5% off.
That's right.
Do that.
Thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
All the materials that I've used tonight are down in the description. So this is the teal plus a little bit of white here. I'm just going to add a little highlights to some of these teal flowers here, or whatever these are. Adding a little bit of it here and there. Clean that out. A little bit of white. This has a little bit of yellow in it. I think this is the...
So what are we going to do for the next 3 hours?
Why?
Well, we're about 40 minutes in, so figuring since the last show.
Yeah. Yeah. Our tiger video was the longest ever so far. You broke all records by about a half hour, I think, right? I think the next longest was 3 hours or maybe 15 minutes. I don't know.
It broke it. I'm not sure by how much, but yeah.
All right, cad yellow, and light and some white here. We'll just add some little highlight leaves. This is where we can kind of play with these leaves, add some whimsy to them, maybe some little line out some details if we want to. I'm going to grab some of that yellow or medium permanent green light, I should say. Get some of that cad brilliant yellow-green here. There we go. We're just using a variety of different greens, warmer greens and cooler greens. The turquoise are the cooler, and these are the warmer. The closer to yellow you get, the more warmer you are on the color wheel. Add some little dots. Just filling in with all kinds of fun little things here. I'll go back to my square brush here. Get some clean white, and if you've got some clean water, rinse your brush out with some clean water. That'll help keep your white from being muddy. Some bright white.
So when are we going to do a painting when you use that massive brush over there?
This one?
Yeah, it's like very white.
It is. It's huge.
It hasn't been used.
It's a little bit soft for the longer. I mean, it's these work well in the smaller versions, but it's a little bit soft for heavy bodies. So acrylics in the big version. So.
Well, I just know I need to behave myself over here.
Why?
I'm just seeing that massive stick.
Just putting some highlights, bright white highlights in my glass here. And then I'm going to go back in with my white flower and add another layer of just really bright white in some places over the top, just to pop that out a little bit. Right, let's add some of this white. Okay, maybe one more layer of color on these blue ones. And grab some of that Cobalt Blue. Maybe a little bit of white with it. There we go.
So when you want spell check to correct words, it doesn't. So I posted what I meant to post on your Facebook group was "We are live" with a picture and the link, but I apparently said "We ate live," and they're like, people are like, please don't eat anything live on the air.
Really don't want to see that. That's great. Okay, I'm really liking this. Go back in and add a little bit more of this yellow contrasting color. This is the kind of an orangey yellow, so it works with, it's a good blue contrast for the blue. We'll add some of this in here. In a couple places. All right. A little bit of white, of the white with yellow mixture also. grab a little bit of the light ultramarine. Dab that over. Grab a little bit of purple and a little bit of white. A light violet color. And find the light side of these. Use this light, brilliant yellow green here. Maybe add a little bit of that white color. And I'm going to add like little dabs in the centers of some of these, like they're little flowers, maybe centers.
You said that you're painting on a little smaller.
Yeah, this is
panel.
8 by 10.
8 by 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's just a canvas panel.
Yes, it's it's actually not canvas, it's gesso board.
Ooh, man, good thing I checked, because I've been putting fake news out there in chat.
That's okay. I mean, it's similar. It's basically the same. This is just hardboard. So, it's a little bit. Okay, I think we are about done. What do you think, hon? Very exuberant.
Looks very flowery.
Yes.
I don't know if it's done because you didn't say cute.
Cute. It is cute. Okay, let me add a little bit of stems. I'm going to add Phthalo Blue to the turquoise. I'm going to add just some little stem-like things in here with that color. I'm just going to put a little bit of water and I'm just going to blend that out so that blend that a little bit lighter in that corner.
Okay, somebody said it looks summerly.
Good.
I guess if that's painterly.
Summerly. Yes, painterly, summery. Nice. Very good. Okay, I think that we're done. What do you think? We could splatter if you wanted to.
Do Stickman if you wanted to.
Stick 'em in. Okay. Well, Stickman here.
Wow, you just hit the microphone.
I did. Sorry.
I just had to warn people in chat real quick to watch their ears.
Yeah. Okay, here we'll give them the flower in there. I don't know. We're just filling up space at this point. We got a big old flower on top of the whale tail and the palm tree. I didn't do a very good job of like placing these in a logical, pattern. So it'll just have to be what it is. Tiny little rooster with a huge whale tail, ginormous flower.
Things are not to scale.
No. All right. Thanks, guys, for joining us. Hope you have a happy 4th of July. Please stay safe. Don't do anything stupid with fireworks like my boys have done. And don't cut your neighbor's yard on fire. Been there, done that.
Nobody got injured.
Nobody got injured. No, that's true. So But we really appreciate you watching with us tonight. If you post this or paint this, please post it on my social media. I've got all kinds of links down in the description, and you can see the description by clicking on the show more that's below the video. So, and be sure to comment and like and subscribe, please. We'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.